My name is Robert. I'm 71 years old, and I work at McDonald's. I never thought I'd be saying that at this age, but here I am. This morning, 6:30, a customer yelled at me because I forgot his sugar in front of everyone. He said, "Hey, old man, can't you do anything right?" I apologized, got him another coffee. He didn't even look at me. I went to the back, cried in the bathroom. Standing in that bathroom, I realized something. I wasn't poor. I was late. Because 30 years ago, I owned a small business. 3 employees, a white van. People respected me. They trusted me. I wasn't struggling back then. I just didn't know what to do with time. And now, I serve coffee to people who could be my grandkids. How did I get here? It wasn't one big mistake. It was one small non-decision repeated for 50 years. And the worst part? I had a coworker who did the opposite. And I laughed at him. My name is Robert. I was born in Detroit, 1953. In 1978, I got my first real job. Electrician. I was 25. Made $32,000 a year. Back then, that was solid middle class. You could raise a family on that. 1982. I married Linda. She was an elementary school teacher. Smart. Patient. Much more patient than me. She believed in me, even when I didn't really know what I was doing yet. We rented a small place in Dearborn, 1 bedroom. That was it. Our first dinner there? Spaghetti. We sat on the floor. Didn't have a table yet. Linda laughed, looked at me and said, "Robert, we're gonna make it." I believed her. 1985. Our son Michael was born. 3 years later, our daughter Sarah. Linda stopped working, stayed home with the kids. We lived on my salary. It was tight, but it worked. Every month, there was a little left over. Friday nights. Every week after work. Me, Joe, Tommy, Dave. O'Malley's Bar. Beer. Pool. Darts. We laughed. Talked about work. Complained a little. Felt like we earned it. It didn't feel like a bad habit. It just felt normal. Friday nights. Every week after work. Me, Joe, Tommy, Dave. O'Malley's Bar. Beer. Pool. Darts. We laughed. Talked about work. Complained a little. Felt like we earned it. It didn't feel like a bad habit. It just felt normal. The years went by fast. My pay kept going up. 1985, 38,000. 1990, 48. By 2000, 72,000 a year. In 1996, Linda went back to work. 35,000. Together, by 2000, we were making $107,000 a year. That was good money back then, really good. And every time we felt ahead, there was just one more thing. A newer TV, a better fridge, more clothes for the kids. Nothing crazy, Nothing reckless, just enough to make sure nothing ever built up. By 2000, we had everything we were supposed to have. A decent house, new appliances, a bigger TV. The house was full, boxes everywhere, stuff still in plastic. It looked like progress, but the bank account was almost empty. I remember telling myself, this is normal. We're doing fine. I didn't see it as a problem. I saw it as life. 3 years later, Sarah, Michigan State, another $18,000 a year. I told myself, when they graduate, that's when I'll start investing. 2010, Michael graduated. 2012, Sarah did too. For the first time, we had $1,800 left over every month. I never opened the account. And then everything stopped. August 2012, 3 a.m. Linda's face started drooping. Her arm went limp. I knew. Stroke. Ambulance. Hospital. Surgery. She survived, but she was never the same. Her left arm didn't work anymore. Her speech slowed. She never went back to work. Our life got smaller, quieter, more careful, and more expensive. The treatment wasn't covered. $2,800 a month. Medications, $950. Physical therapy, $1,400. $5,150 every month. I put it on credit cards, personal loans. I didn't decide anything. I just kept going. The debt kept growing. I took care of her for 6 years. Slept 4 hours a night. June 2018. Second stroke. This time, she didn't wake up. I buried Linda at 65. 40 years of marriage. After the service, Michael pulled me aside. He asked me things I wasn't ready for. Dad, do you have savings? A 401k? I said, Social Security, $2,100 a month. He asked again, and investments? I didn't answer. I looked at him. 33 years old, successful, worried about his father. I said, I don't have anything, son. He didn't argue, didn't raise his voice. He just said, Dad, you worked 40 years. How can you have nothing? I couldn't answer, because he was right. The week after the funeral, Michael took me out to dinner. Just the two of us. Denny's. 9 p.m. The place was almost empty. Cold fries. Ketchup dried on the plate. We sat there, not talking. Then Michael looked at me and asked something he'd been carrying for years. The week after the funeral, Michael took me out to dinner, just the two of us. Denny's, 9 p.m. The place was almost empty. Cold fries, ketchup dried on the plate. We sat there, not talking. Then Michael looked at me and asked something he'd been carrying for years. He said, Dad, I need to ask you something. When I was 16, I wanted to go to baseball camp. 2 weeks, $800. You told me we couldn't afford it. I was so mad. I worked at Burger King all summer, Saved every dollar, paid for it myself. Then he stopped. 3 weeks after that, you bought a jet ski, $4,200. Dad, how did you have money for that, but not for me? My throat closed. That jet ski. We used it twice. Sold it 2 years later. Lost money on it. Michael never forgot. 2020. COVID. I lost my job. 67 years old. Nobody was hiring. August. McDonald's. $14 an hour. 20 hours a week. I remember standing in the locker room, looking at myself in the mirror. Uniform on. Name tag still blank. I wasn't angry. I wasn't even sad. I was just stunned. Like I'd finally caught up with every decision I'd been postponing. 2022. My grandson Jake came to visit. 25 years old. Works in tech. Makes about $85,000 a year. He sat next to me on the couch. Pulled out his phone. Grandpa, look! It was an investment app. Green lines. Upward. He said, I invest $800 a month. Started when I was 22. The screen showed $42,000 in 3 years. He already had more than... I grabbed my notebook, wrote down what I had. $3,500. That was it. After everything, after all those years. 3,500. Jake grabbed a piece of paper, started writing. Didn't rush. Grandpa, back in 1990, you were 37. If you had invested just $200 a month, nothing fancy, just steady, 34 years, average market return. He finished the math. $542,000. I looked at the paper. $542,000. And my voice started shaking. Jake, $200 back then. That was less than I spent on beer and takeout. Every Saturday, a case of beer, pizza, no thought. $200 a month, gone. Not stolen, not lost, consumed for 34 years. I didn't invest $542,000. I drank it. I looked at the paper. $542,000. And my voice started shaking. Jake, $200 back then. That was less than I spent on beer and takeout. Every Saturday, a case of beer, pizza, no thought. $200 a month, gone. Not stolen, not lost, consumed for 34 years. I didn't invest $542,000. I drank it. I couldn't get that number out of my head. $542,000. It followed me. In the shower, in bed, in the silence. And then I remembered Joe, the guy we laughed at, the guy we called Warren Buffett as a joke, the guy who stopped coming to the bar while we stayed. Beer after beer, laugh after laugh, year after year. Joe didn't disappear. He just chose a different future. And we made fun of him for it. I saw Joe again in 2010. Kroger parking lot. Middle of the afternoon. Same age as me. Same hands. Same years of work. But he looked rested. Clean shirt. Straight posture. No rush in his eyes. I was still in my work clothes. Grease on my hands. Tools digging into my hip. He smiled. "I'm retiring this year," he said. 57. I laughed again. Asked if he got lucky. A pension. An inheritance. Joe shook his head. "No, Robert. Same job. Same life. Just different Fridays." That $160 a month, it turned into about $680,000. I live off the dividends now. I congratulated him, shook his hand, smiled, and drove home furious because the joke was never Joe. It was us. A few years later, I saw the photos. Joe on a cruise, sunburned in a good way, laughing. No clock, no boss. His wife beside him, holding a drink with a little paper umbrella. 62 years old, free, alive. While me, I was still climbing poles. At 57, at 62, at 67. Same jokes, same bar stories, same "next year I'll start." The guy we called Warren Buffett as a joke retired at 57. And me? At 71, I'm still working. Turns out, he wasn't lucky. He was early. He had it wipe the tear. Nothing is said because nothing needs to be explained. This is not sadness. This is recognition. This is the moment where the math stops being numbers and becomes a life. After Jake showed me that number, I didn't sleep for days. $542,000. I kept thinking about Linda. June 2018. The camera stays on the paper. The doctor pulled me aside. "Mr. Thompson, your wife qualifies for an experimental treatment. It's not covered by insurance." A beat. $85,000. It might give her 2, maybe 3 more good years. Long pause. Camera slowly pushes closer to $85,000. I had $4,100 in savings. I didn't say no right away. I asked if there were other options. Another pause. There weren't. Silence. 3 seconds. So I said no. I went back into her room. Linda was awake, barely. The camera holds on her face. She looked at me. She didn't ask anything. She already knew. A longer pause. Her eyes said, "Robert, we don't have it, do we?" Silence. I shook my head. The camera shifts to her hand. She smiled, just a little. And she said, "It's okay, honey. We had a good life." Silence. 4 seconds. Only the monitor sound. 3 days later, she died. No music, no movement. Cut to black. Not numb, resolved. 3 days later, she died. Let it land. And that's the part people don't understand. Money wouldn't have guaranteed more time, but it would have given us a choice, a chance. I didn't lose Linda because I was unlucky. I dossed her because I didn't have options. And I didn't have options because I kept telling myself I'd start later. Yesterday at McDonald's, Saturday afternoon, around 3. Slow shift. A couple walked in. Man about 65, well-dressed. His wife with him. They ordered 2 coffees, 2 apple pies. While I was making their tray, I heard them talking. Tomorrow Emily gets back from Paris, he said. 3 weeks in Europe. $8,000 for the ticket, he laughed. Worth every penny. I handed them their order. He looked at me, smiled. Thank you, sir. Yesterday at McDonald's, Saturday afternoon, around 3. Slow shift. A couple walked in. Man about 65, well-dressed. His wife with him. They ordered 2 coffees, 2 apple pies. While I was making their tray, I heard them talking. Tomorrow Emily gets back from Paris, he said. 3 weeks in Europe. $8,000 for the ticket, he laughed. Worth every penny. I handed them their order. He looked at me, smiled. Thank you, sir. No anger vested $160 a month. He was free at 57. I laughed at him. I'm 71. And I work at McDonald's. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it buys options. And options buy dignity. That couple today, 65, together, traveling. Me, 71, alone, working. We both worked about 40 years. The difference wasn't intelligence, wasn't luck, wasn't inheritance. It was $200 a month for 34 years. I served their coffee. He looked at me, smiled. I looked down at my own hands. His were clean, well kept, perfectly manicured. Mine, rough, worn down by years of hard work. I glanced at the wedding ring, same gold band, but my skin shows the wear of years, his smooth and polished. My hands trembling, his firm, relaxed. He smiled and thanked me again. Thank you, sir. Joe invested $160 a month. He was free at 57. I laughed at him. I'm 71, and I work at McDonald's. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it buys options. And options buy dignity. That couple today, 65, together, traveling. Me, 71, alone, working. We both worked about 40 years. The difference wasn't intelligence, wasn't luck, wasn't inheritance. It was $200 a month for 34 years. Honest for sugarcoating very slowly. Don't be me. Don't wake up one day needing $85,000 and realizing you don't have it. Don't work at McDonald's at 71 because you laughed at the guy who invested. Don't break the generational chain because you bought a jet ski. Start today. Not Monday, not next month, $200 per month. Or spend the rest of your life wishing you had. I wasn't poor, I was late. Xing Yu had.